Next step, we need to add our project to Firebase. This step, we will start with tools and open Firebase Assistant. If Firebase Assistant doesn't installed in your Android Studio, open File and Settings and go to Plugins. Inside plugins, search for Firebase. Okay, it's Firebase service already installed. After installing it and Android Studio will restart, open Tools and select Firebase Assistant. First of all, we need to add authentication to the project. Email and password authentication. First step, connect to Firebase. This step will direct you to the browser and opens Firebase. Log into Firebase with your developer account, and once you add your project and click continue. Not required Google Analytics and click create project. Okay, now click continue. And click connect to Firebase to Android app. Okay, the project is connected successfully. Okay, and the project here connected. Okay, second step is adding Firebase authentication to your app, and click on this button. This automatically adds the required dependencies and reset the project, and click accept the changes. It already adds the Firebase dependencies authentication. Okay, done successfully. Now we need to go to Firebase and go to console. We note that the project created here. Click the project name. Go to authentication, click on it, and click set sign up method, and go to email and password and edit it. Enable the two buttons and click save. Now go to database. And go to the section of real-time database and click create database and start in test mode. Okay, now we have warning here. Your security rules are defined as public, so anyone can steal, modify, or delete data in your database. Go to rules. Now we need to change these rules. First thing, we need to add rules for users table. Under users reference or table, we need to add variable user ID, and here we need to add read and write rules. Here we need to add another condition and user ID and authentication not equal to null. Okay, so the user cannot read to the database if he is not authenticated and the user ID is identified or is the same as authentication dot user our unified ID. Now we need to publish, but before it we need to add another rules for read and add for read and click publish and return to database. We note that the warning has removed. Okay, next step, go to storage and we need to get started with storage. Click next and select the server location. Okay, we need to create new folder and name it profile images and click add folder. In this folder we will add the profile images. Okay, now go to your Android Studio After that we need to return to assistant and we need to add real-time database to enable it. Save and retrieve data and add real-time database to your app. Accept changes. And return to assistant and go to storage and upload and download to cloud and add cloud storage to your app. So for now our project is ready for Firebase login and registration. Now go to register activity and start to find material edit text and the buttons in register activity and the progress bar. First we need to set the toolbar in the register activity. Now we defined new toolbar and it's find view by ID and set support action bar by toolbar and its title and toolbar.z navigation on click listener to return to the main activity. Next step, we need to find these widgets by ID. Then we need to add click listener to register button. Okay. When user click on register button, we need to define the strings of username, email, password, mobile, and we need to get the selected gender and check the selected gender is not null, and if it's null we need to create toast to remind the user to select gender. Then here we need to add the final string gender for selected gender to get the text and check the all edit text not empty. If it not empty, then we need to call the register method inside register activity. The registration process requires to create an instance of Firebase Authentication and name it Firebase Authentication and create new instance for this authentication is equal to Firebase Authentication.get instance, and we need to initialize progress bar and then to create new user by Firebase Authentication, and select option was create user with email and password, and first parameter is email text and second parameter is password text, and add incomplete listener, new incomplete listener. If task is successful, here we need to save the user data to the Firebase database. We will do that by defining the Firebase user. We need to create an instance of Firebase user, registered user is equal to Firebase authentication to get current user. We need to get user ID string is equal to Firebase user to get user ID. Then we need to create database reference instance. And we need to define database reference is equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. The reference name here should be the same as reference name is in database. We need to copy it from database and copy the reference name here, users, and paste it here. Dot child, this child is the created user ID string. When we need to save the user data, the username, email, text, mobile, gender, we need to create map, hash map of type string, hash map is equal to new hash map, and put the user data to hash map. Here we need to make sure the names, because the key value of hash map will be the child name of the reference. It cannot be changed after that. Make sure the name, say we need to make user ID, user ID. We need to copy this line and paste it here. One for username and with value username, and one for email and value email, and one for gender and its value gender, and one for mobile and its value for mobile. Another we need to another hash map for profile image or image URL, and with default value default, and add this hash map to database reference by using database reference.set value, and we need to cast hash map dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener. If task is successful, we need to start the login activity. Also, we need here to stop progress bar, and we need to add required KitKat, and we need to assert user ID not equal null. And if the task of creating email and username is not successful, else you will need to stop progress bar and create toast. We need to get task exception, and it requires to be not null. Okay, our registration activity is ready to register new user. Now we need to set up our login activity. Open main activity and open main activity XML file. Okay, now everything is ready to code. Now we need to find our widgets for email and password progress bar and text view for hierarchy password, and we need to find the registration button and the login button, and redefine the email password and the progress bar. Okay, now we need to set click listener for register button. To start register activity, and set on click listener for login button. In the on click listener of login button, we need to define strings of email text and the password text, and if the email and the password is empty, we need to toast all fields is required. Else we need to create login method. Inside login method, we need to create Firebase Authentication, and initialize it inside main activity. Sorry. Okay, inside login method, we need first to initialize progress bar, and then we need to get authentication with sign in with email and password. Here we need to cast text for email and text for password. Dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener, and if task successful, and else we need to toast error. And if task is successful, we need to go to start activity by initializing new intent. Else we need to toast task exception. So we need to create method, create activity for start activity. After login, we need to stop progress bar. Go to start activity XML file and change constraint layout to linear layout. With orientation vertical. We need to add profile bar layout. So we need to copy this bar layout here and paste it in layout, but make sure that in layout file, sorry, I need to change the name. We need to change it to profile bar layout. Okay. Inside profile bar layout, we need to make changes. We need to add relative layout. Inside relative layout, we need to add circle image view. And we need to add text view for username. Now go to start activity XML file and include the profile bar layout. Then add card view, match parent for layout height and width, and corner radius by 50 dB and margin bottom by minus 50 dB. To show the corner here, we need to change the background for the activity to color primary dark. It is the layout here. Now go to start the activity Java file. We need to create text view for username and circle image view, and then we need to set toolbar for app start activity. Then we need to find username and circle image view. And private Firebase Authentication and private database reference. And we need to instantiate the Firebase Authentication. And initialize the Firebase user. And initialize database reference is equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. The reference name is users dot child is Firebase user dot get unified ID. Then we need to get snapshot for database reference. Dot add value event listener. Dot add value event listener. New value event listener. The value event listener returns data snapshot. Data snapshot requires model file to get it. We need to create new model file, Java file, and name it users data, and inside it we need to create private string user ID, and we need to make sure it's the same as the database from the register activity over register activity, and copy paste this name. And we need to create two constructors. The first for all variables, and the second is empty constructor. And we need to generate getter and setters for all database. Okay. Now here we need to add the value for users data is equal to data snapshot dot get value users data dot class. So we here can set the username text view by user data of by username of the user data as following. We here have set text of user data to get username, and we can set the image if it is default. We need to set it as IC launcher background, else we need to use light to load the image to circle image view. Here in database error we need to add toast and we cast the database error dot get message. Okay, now we need to try our app. Okay, we need here to remove the action bar here. We need to open styles. We need to change it to no action bar and try it again. Let's try it. Okay, I have error here. We need to open logcat. And we need to get the error. Need to and we have error here in register activity, and we need to include layout, but I have added Android layout here. Let's try that again. Okay, register activity is ready. Let's try to add new user. Okay, we need to set the text color. As color primary dark. Sorry, here we need to add username, not email. And we need to click register. Okay, we need to add okay, it works and the name of username appears, and we need to look at Firebase database. We will note that users reference added and unified ID and the user data added here.